Cowboys star receiver CeeDee Lamb is willing to hold out until he gets a new contract extension. According to the Dallas Morning News' Calvin Watkins, Lamb is not expected to show up for training camp unless he has an extension in place. This would not be a stunning move because CeeDee Lamb missed minicamp, which drew a little bit over $100,000 fine. So I want to know, do you think that this is a good or a bad decision for CeeDee to hold out?
I'm not sure it makes much difference one way or the other because it's $50K for every day you hold out on a regular training camp. But in a rookie contract, if it's being renegotiated, those fines can be waived. So he'll hold out. They'll run up a big fine. He'll figure out a deal with them, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And then they'll waive his fines, and he'll get his deal. But he doesn't have much leverage in holding out unless the Cowboys think, wow, if he's not out here practicing with Dak Prescott, the chemistry is going to get screwed up. And that was one of our best go-to situations for us all year long. And CeeDee Lamb was one of the top receivers in the NFL last year. So if they worry about that, then they're going to want to try to get a deal done with him. But the timing is an issue here. And we talked about this in one of the prior shows, that it sounds like the Cowboys want to do Prescott first. And Prescott's a tough negotiator, even though he says the money doesn't mean anything to him. It means a lot to his agents, and he's given his agents full authority to negotiate a deal. His first deal took a long time to get done. And if this one takes a long time to get done, then CeeDee Lamb will be without an extension when training camp starts, and he'll be holding out. So that's not going to be a good situation for them. So I think he will hold out. He doesn't have much leverage because he doesn't have a no trade clause or a no franchise tag clause. The precedent is in a rookie contract that the fines get waived, and Nick Bosa got his fines waived. Zach Martin was the last one that held out for the Cowboys, and he wasn't a rookie contract, so they couldn't waive his fines, but he got a $36.85 million guaranteed deal, and they guaranteed the last 2 years of the contract. So I think the Cowboys, in the end, they may look like they're playing hardball with their players, but they wind up making them whole. And I'm not sure why they didn't do a deal with CeeDee Lamb last year. They could have gotten him for a lot cheaper, and now he wants Justin Jefferson money, and the bar has been set very high with Jefferson, A.J. Brown, and St. Brown for the Lions getting huge contracts and lots of guaranteed money. You look at Jefferson, he has $26 million more than any other wide receiver in his contract, and $36 million more fully guaranteed money, and $110 million of guaranteed money. So, and $140 million deal for 4 years. You've got the deals up there, and I'm sure you'll want to go through them when you do your analysis here. I think that the Cowboys need to get these deals done. They can probably delay Micah Parsons' deal until next year, although that's risky because he'll be in his contract year then, and the price tag is going to be even higher. They have 3 players that at their position can demand the highest pay of any player at that position in the league. Dak Prescott, the benchmark there is $55 million a year right now. That's $15 million more than his current contract per year. And if they don't sign him and he goes free agent and he goes away, that's $40 million of dead money, if not extended. So my prediction is the Cowboys are going to get it done for CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. They're going to have to hurry up here to get those deals done so that the players aren't unhappy and they don't have any holdouts here. I think they'll wait to get Micah Parsons' deal done next year, but I think all 3 of them will wind up getting done, and it's going to cost Jerry Jones more money than he could have spent if he tried to get them done a little earlier and thought about it a little more carefully last year.
Well, yeah, I that's absolutely, that was my take on Tuesday. Jerry Jones is patient, but he's also impatient. He's way too patient with contracts and impatient when it comes to wanting to win Super Bowls, so much so he moves a lot of pieces around. So What's funny is I actually want to start with the Jerry Jones comment he made earlier this year. So he told the Dallas Morning News, and I read this on Tuesday, after Amon-Ra St. Brown as well as A.J. Brown had their contracts. He said, bottom line, and this is a direct quote, bottom line is I haven't had time to think about them, especially with those receivers. Now, nobody was moving too fast to get involved. Now, I just don't care to or even will express any thoughts about the contract or the impact of the contract. Well, now, you might want to think about it. Because CeeDee Lamb is now holding out. And it looks like it's going to cost you probably a lot more than you expected it to. And the problem with waiting on a lot of these players is Dak Prescott needs a contract, CeeDee Lamb needs a contract, Micah Parsons needs a contract, and your head coach Mike McCarthy needs a contract. All these players are towards the very end of their deal, with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott being on the last years of their deals. So it's very difficult for Jerry Jones to make up his mind about who's worth it. Now, I think just based on how the NFL is, Micah Parsons will end up getting his contract last. The Cowboys already announced, or reports say, that Dak Prescott is the priority, which means that CeeDee Lamb is not going to get any real talking, any real progress when it comes to his contract extension until Dak Prescott gets his. Now, Dak Prescott, based on what he wants, is reportedly, according to Ian Rappaport, $60 million per year because, let's look at some of these crazy quarterback contracts. Trevor Lawrence is now tied with Joe Burrow for $55 million a year, each of a 5-year, $275 million deal. CeeDee Lamb wants Justin Jefferson money, so about $35 million a year. Well, personally, I don't think CeeDee Lamb is Justin Jefferson. Do I think he is near or around A.J. Brown? I think he showed it last season with the fact that he had 1,749 yards and 12 touchdowns. I think that he was a tremendous wide receiver last year, a bona fide wide receiver, 1 and top 5, if not top 3 last year with Justin Jefferson being hurt. And also Devontae Adams having Aiden O'Connell and Jimmy Garoppolo and even Brian Hoyer as his quarterback. So I think that CeeDee Lamb was arguable top 3, but definitely top 5. I think a lot of people probably would put him in the top 3. So the problem with CeeDee Lamb getting paid is Jerry Jones. And I guess based on what the reports say, could be also Dak Prescott because the Cowboys are focusing on Dak Prescott first. So I think when it comes to holding out, I think a lot of Cowboys, if you have a problem with your contract, hold out. Because I do think if CeeDee Lamb hits the open market, he will be making $30+ million a year to any team who signs him. Or Jerry Jones could sign him. Now, it will cost you probably $33 million a year because that's what CeeDee Lamb is looking for, and he will hold out. But the problem is, if you do want to keep him, I don't think CeeDee Lamb is moving anywhere. I don't. Same with Brandon Ayuk. Let Brandon Ayuk do whatever he wants. Except the difference is the Cowboys need CeeDee Lamb. The 49ers don't need Brandon Ayuk. I think it's a flip when it comes to who will eventually cave. I think that when it comes to the 49ers, they won't because they don't necessarily need Ayuk. When it comes to the Cowboys, they desperately need CeeDee Lamb. And what's also funny is that we have to remember what the Cowboys did way back when they got rid of Amari Cooper. Because the whole point, according to Jerry Jones, the reason why they got off of Amari Cooper was because a payday for CeeDee Lamb was eventually going to need to be placed. Well, now's the time. You got off Amari Cooper, and now here's CeeDee Lamb. You already had a problem with CeeDee Lamb's contract. Amari Cooper's contract. So you got him out of there. But now it's up for you to now pay CeeDee Lamb what he's worth. And I think the fact that he got better and better as the years progressed, going from 935 to 1102 to 1359 to now 1749 in yards per season. And he also had, this is crazy, 181 targets last year. Caught 135 of those. CeeDee Lamb, and it's crazy to think, Brandon Cooks is your wide receiver too. If CeeDee Lamb holds out, and if Jerry Jones won't fold, which I think will be a massive mistake, let's say he holds out for the regular season, for at least week 1, Brandon Cooks is your starting wide receiver.
Yeah, that's a real problem for the Cowboys. They got to have CeeDee Lamb. I predict he will get Justin Jefferson annual salary money for 4 years, but
35.
But the guarantee will be somewhere between what A.J. Brown got and what J.J. got. He won't get the same contract as Jefferson. His guaranteed money will be smaller, but his annual salary will be very close.
I think we have to acknowledge that since 2020, CeeDee Lamb has the 5th most yards of any wide receiver. He has made a massive impact and has really kept because Ezekiel Elliott was not Ezekiel Elliott of the past, especially late in his tenure with the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb was really the only true shining star of that offense. And now, well, I guess Michael Gallup had a couple moments, but I think in totality, CeeDee Lamb was the true shining star, especially recently. And without him, I think Dak Prescott spirals out of control because Dak Prescott just had the best year of his career. He has a lot of leverage because he has
1,749 yards.
It's crazy.
It's close. That's close to 2,000 yards. I mean,
he's one of the top candidates to break that record.
Yeah.
So I think Dak Prescott, because he had the best year of his career, had the highest passer rating of his career, highest completion percentage. He led the NFL with 36 touchdowns last year. I think he has a lot of leverage because he has a no trade clause, no franchise tag clause, and he just had a tremendous year. CeeDee Lamb, all he has is the fact that he can get the fines voided if the Cowboys want. That is really the only leverage he's got. And I guess on a technicality standpoint, he could say, who else do you have behind me? This ain't the 49ers. Brandon Cooks, while he's an okay receiver, he's not going to bring you to the promised land. He's not going to lead this team with 1,500 yards and 10-plus touchdowns. It just isn't going to happen. I could do that with my eyes closed, basically. So I think just the fact that he could get his fines voided if the Cowboys want, and depth chart-wise, that's it. Otherwise, he's got nothing. They could trade him, franchise tag him. They could do whatever they want.
I don't think they're going to trade him. No way they're trading him. They're going to get him a deal.
You'd hope.
It's not going to have this much guaranteed money as Justin Jefferson's got. It's going to be more than A.J. Brown got, but the average salary is going to be very close to Jefferson, and he'll take it.
I mean, that's some crazy money there.
Look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, man. He did okay, too.
He's gotten a lot of money.
Yeah.
More than Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill wants a new contract, too, after seeing all these contracts go up. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.